My female 53, soon-to-be ex-husband Roger 47, whom I forgave for his affair, came home with a baby 4 months ago. His girlfriend 22 couldn't handle it anymore, so she brought the baby to him at work and left. To the best of his knowledge, she's in Spain. I allowed him to stay so long as I didn't have to do anything. Anything. Well, about a month ago, Roger had a heart attack. It didn't kill him, more's the pity, but he is very weak and incapable of doing anything for himself. Since he isn't up and about, he cannot care for his child. He also can't drop off and pick up his son at daycare. I've been helping, but I'm done. My kids are full grown. I shouldn't be having grandkids anytime soon. I do not have any desire to care for a baby. I told Roger that I wanted a divorce, and I contacted the mother's parents. I know the father through friends. I said they had until Friday to come get their grandchild, or I was calling Child Protective Services. They just left with the baby, but they scolded me for being so cold towards a baby that had done me no harm. I view that child differently. Roger's recovering and I'll be moving out. The house is in his name, but I've never contributed to it. I've put away the equivalent of 22 years of rent and interest. As per our prenup, my savings are my own. I work and don't need anything from this marriage except myself. My kids tried telling me to stay and help their father. I said that they were welcome to come over and help him clean himself and the baby. Both declined what I felt was a fair offer. I do not feel that I'm acting badly. However, Roger, our children, his child's family, and a few mutual friends think I am. Perhaps writing this out and seeing the responses will give me clarity. Not the idiot. Basically, everybody's trying to dumb down their responsibilities on you. The baby should be with its family. You're not cold to not want to care for it. It's weird they wouldn't want to take the kid in anyway. Poor child. Your grown kids can take care of their dad. When he cheated, your relationship ended, and he's not your problem anymore. Yes, it's not OP's responsibility. And if there's a cold person, it's the mother of the baby who literally abandoned him. And OP's idiot of a soon-to-be ex who cheated with a near child apparently didn't use birth control, then showed up expecting OP to take on his affair baby. I assume the baby mama is younger than or the same age as his kids, but OP is the wrong one? No, everyone else is ridiculous. Exactly, but for some reason, I get the feeling that the affair partner is going to hear about the heart attack and the divorce, and he'll come swooping back in to fix this mess and get her share. And everyone will be like, she's amazing, and they'll all live happily ever after, and OP will still be villainized. Poor OP can't win in the eyes of these idiots, but we know she's more than justified in washing the hands of her soon-to-be ex, his infant, and his affair partner's parents. Good riddance. They should be thanking you for not calling CPS the second your ex fell ill. You've done much more than expected for a baby that's not yours, let alone a child from your husband's affair. LOL at your kids telling you to stay and take care of him and the baby, but when you offered them the same deal, they declined. Because of course they did. Also, when Roger's kids learn they're splitting their inheritance with an affair baby, see how well they take it. I'm sorry you're dealing with all this, and I wish you the best in your new life. Hugs. We've been seeing each other for a year, and everything looked and seemed as if we were a couple. He said he loved me, and I told him I loved him. He spends every weekend with me, and we planned our first trip together, etc. Last weekend, he was in bed, and I made pancakes for him because his birthday was on Tuesday. He was very happy about it and joked that I was spoiling him. I said that I wanted to spoil my man. He said, I'm not your man, with the same energy. He didn't seem awkward or embarrassed, just as calm with a smile on his stupid face. I didn't take it seriously and said, yeah, I know you're not my man. He was more serious now and said, no, really, I am not your boyfriend. I felt literally sick, but I tried to be calm, and I asked what we were, and he said I didn't know. Really great friends with benefits? I didn't say anything after that, and he ate his pancakes in silence. Later, he asked if we would do anything, and I said that I was planning on cleaning and doing some paperwork. He left after an hour. I ran to the bathroom to be sick, and I probably cried for a solid 2 hours. I couldn't keep anything in my stomach for the rest of the day. He texted that evening, thanking me for the breakfast in bed, saying that he thought I was amazing, but I didn't answer. So he called a few times. I didn't answer. Around 10 p.m., he rang on my door. I just opened a jar and pretended I was sick with the flu and was going to bed. He offered to stay the night in case I needed help during the night, and I said no. I didn't answer him on Sunday or Monday, and I didn't wish him a happy birthday on Tuesday either. I've just been keeping it short text, feigning sickness. He never brought up what he said once. Then yesterday, he wrote that he missed me, that he hadn't gone this long without talking to me since we met, and that he was going mad. He asked if we could at least have dinner. I said that I was very busy. He said, "Don't you miss me?" I said that I was exhausted because I was out all night with the guy last night, so I just wanted to relax by myself this evening. He stopped answering. He showed up 15 minutes later, asking me if I was lying. I wasn't. I told him that we weren't a couple, so I was free to do whatever. He said that I broke his heart and cheated on him, and I'm an idiot. I waited for him to leave before I started crying. He's right. We never had the talk, actually, and I never asked him what we were. I just assumed because I loved him, and I thought he did too. But now I know we aren't together. Why was he upset that I slept with another man yesterday? Was I the idiot? Was it cheating? We're not together, and you cheated on me. That's some wild delusional crap right there. Definitely not the idiot. I'd say the only better route would have been to call it out as soon as he said it. These types of losers would go and tell their buddies that you were a slut and cheated without any additional context. From what I've seen in the past, these kinds of guys love to play the victim. He didn't just stop at saying you weren't together or that he wasn't your boyfriend. He even said that you were a great friend with benefits. That is so extremely insulting if he's going to act like you exclusive. I bet he only expected you to be loyal, not him. He wants a girlfriend and a relationship without committing. What an idiot. OP, you dodged the bullet with your truth serum pancakes. Block him. He isn't worth a response. He doesn't deserve your love or pancakes. My husband and I are expecting a baby. We don't know the gender, but I could give birth at any time now. We've chosen a boy's and a girl's name. The choices are generally compromises. We didn't agree on names, really, and had different beliefs about names, I guess. He also believes in formal names and kids having solid middle names. I believe in naming the child what you want to call them, something I got from my parents, who named me and my siblings that way, and my siblings went on to do the same. For example, I'm Lainey, just Lainey. I don't have a more formal version of my name. I never felt like I needed a more formal name. My name works for me as a 34-year-old woman, just as much as it did when I was 4. This led to trouble for us, because I gravitate more to names my husband considers nicknames. I found his choices very stuffy and unappealing, and he found my suggestions juvenile. But he liked Theodora, and I liked Thea. We eventually agreed to the full name for him, but I'd always use Thea. For a boy, we went with Declan for him, and Dex for me. And again, he would use Declan and I use Dex. But my husband doesn't like that I only say Thea or Dex. It bothers him that the full name gets ignored, and he says he believes my family and a lot of our friends will use the names I do. I told him the compromise only worked on the grounds that it was okay, that he could use the full name and I could use the nickname. He said the full name would seem like it would be getting ignored otherwise, and that I should use both to make it fairer. And I told him that's just him getting his way. I told him that if he wanted a better compromise, he had better come back to the table and be willing to look at different names. Before, names like Bryn, Lyra, Piper, and Freya were ruled out by him for not meeting his formal standards because they were shorter names. He said they were nickname light, but shorter, more formal names feel like the only other possible compromise for us, and he doesn't agree. So I told him he needs to accept what we already compromised on, or we need to find a better compromise, which doesn't mean he's getting his way. He told me I was very dismissive of his concerns. I told him I was already going with a legal name I didn't care for under our compromise, so he should be more willing to work with me if he wants to change the names. Am I the idiot? You came up with a perfect compromise, and I really like the name and the variants you came up with. You did a great job, and he's suddenly or still unhappy. Even if the girl's name was, I don't know, Stephanie, Most people, friends and family, would call her Steph. If the boy's name was maybe William, he'd be called Will. The only exceptions are short names like John, James, Lyra, etc. But he wants a longer name. He won't avoid nicknames. He thinks if it's a girl, her friends will call her Theodora. I really don't understand his struggle because the nicknames will almost always be there. Plus, what will his family call the child? No nicknames at all? Just Stephanie or William always? No Steph or Will ever? I don't understand this part, and I would like more information about his family. So not the idiot. You really came up with a perfect compromise, and he stepped back on it. It doesn't even make sense since he won't avoid nicknames. Does he really expect a teenager to introduce herself as Theodora to her peers? If he's that concerned, he should consider names that are less of a mouthful. Anthea is just as valid for the Thea nickname and less stuffy. No one but your husband will call your daughter Theodora. People usually tend to find and use abbreviations. You will not find a solution if short, two-syllable long names always feels like nicknames to him. I, 18 female, recently had my birthday this past Saturday. My boyfriend, 18, invited a girl I didn't know as his plus one. In my culture, an 18th birthday is a big deal, so a huge party's to be expected. I told all my friends who were coming in a group chat that they could invite a plus one. What I didn't know was that my boyfriend, who was also in the group chat, decided to also invite a plus one. I had no idea of this beforehand because I assumed that since he was my boyfriend, I would be the one he would be with for my birthday. I don't know if thinking like that is selfish or not, but I only really put him in the group chat so he knows the important details of things. So the time comes for my birthday, and as all the guests are filing in, my boyfriend walks in with this girl. They're talking and laughing and having a good time, but basically the whole party, his attention was with her. I had never met this girl, and I couldn't help but feel extremely jealous since she was undeniably gorgeous. At the table I had at the front where my closest friends and I were supposed to sit for dinner, my boyfriend dared to ask if his plus one could sit with us. He was talking with her the whole time, and I couldn't help but feel extremely angry and jealous the whole time. Even my other girlfriends at the table were giving me looks about her. However, I said nothing at that time to keep the peace, and I tried my hardest not to let such a deal ruin my night. Afterward, when everyone left, including my boyfriend's plus one, I basically screamed at him, asking why he would invite another girl to my 18th birthday. I get that I could have been in the wrong for raising my voice and being jealous and angry, but he told me that since I said everyone could bring a plus one, he could too. He was telling me to chill out and that she was just his friend from work. I can't help but feel sick every time I think about them. I couldn't help but notice how flirty and lost in his eyes he looked when he talked to her. Am I just overreacting about this? Or should I confront him again about his relationship with her? He brought his girlfriend to his ex-girlfriend's birthday party as his plus one without telling his ex that she's an ex. That's wild. My girl, please listen to your internet aunties. You are too young to be letting this dude treat you like this. He's either dumber than bricks in a sandwich or doesn't care. Learn how to let the trash take itself out. I know 18 is young and grown up at the same time, but not dumb. He was dumb enough to think a birthday group chat you're in because of your girlfriend is permission to bring a plus one, but not just a plus one, a girl plus one? Come on, then he tells you to chill out? I don't think he's as invested as you are in this relationship. If he was, he wouldn't have to be told the night was all about you. He'd help make sure it was. He certainly wouldn't be chum with another girl. Please, please, don't waste your tears on him. Drop him. Hard stop. No contact if you can. It doesn't deserve any more than what you've already said. Happy 18th birthday. Wishing you more happiness than you can handle. I have an acquaintance, Lola, 26 female, who is single and has been looking for a partner for a very long time. She's on every dating app and wears white whenever we go out to manifest a husband. I don't choose to hang out with her alone. You'll see why. But she is friends with a couple of my friends, so we hang out together in groups a lot. When we hang out, she constantly complains about her dating life. Even if we're talking about something completely different, She finds some way to make the conversation about her boy troubles. Though I avoid direct conversation with her about this and left it to others to validate her, it has become abundantly clear why she cannot bag a man. Lola has a long list of demands, most of which she doesn't meet. She wants someone who's ambitious in his career and makes six figures. She works part-time, lives with her parents, and doesn't seem to be in a hurry to move out. He needs to go to the gym regularly and take care of his body. Lola is overweight and hates exercise. He needs to play an instrument and be into music. Lola says she's never picked up an instrument in her life. He has to be over 6'2". Lola is 5'2". She complains that when we go out, no guys approach her, but I've seen plenty of guys ask her to dance, buy her a drink, etc., and she rejects all of them. I stay quiet when Lola goes on her long, frequent rants, but a few days ago, we were at brunch with some other friends, and she asked me specifically for advice. My fiancé Jim is tall, athletic, ambitious, and musically gifted, and she wanted to know how I got him. I tried my best to explain to her nicely that people tend to choose partners who are similar to themselves. Jim and I go to the gym together every day. We're both very dedicated to our jobs, and we have a lot of similar hobbies and interests, so we have a lot to talk about. I told her that if she wants to find a man like that, she should consider applying herself more in her job, going to the gym, and picking up a hobby she wants her partner to have. Otherwise, she could either date a guy who's as interested in her as she is, or be comfortable with being single. I thought I was being very polite, but this ultimately killed the mood. Lola got really upset and accused me of fat-shaming her, even though I never said anything about losing weight, just going to the gym, because she wants her partner to go to the gym. One of my friends told me Lola is worthy and deserving of a great guy and doesn't need to change herself. I ended the brunch with what I thought was helpful advice. Afterwards, I got texts from friends demanding I apologize to Lola, but others supported me and told me that I was right, and Lola was way too sensitive. I was trying to help, but would it have been better if I had just lied? Was that an inappropriate thing to say in that setting? Was it an idiotic move for me to give that advice? Not the idiot. You gave Lola honest, helpful advice when she asked for it. You didn't fat shame her. You just pointed out that people often date those with similar lifestyles. If she wants a fit, successful guy, she should work on those things herself. Lola got defensive when faced with the truth. Your friends are enabling her unrealistic expectations by saying she deserves an amazing guy, no matter what. Sometimes we need to hear hard truths from our friends, even if it hurts at first. Oh, she's probably reading way too many romance novels or fics, where Edward Cullen, a rich, glittery, angelic vampire who's perfect in every aspect, falls in love with her because he caught her smiling at a pigeon in a fountain. The breeze caught a perfect lock of her brilliant hair, revealing the most glowing, vibrant brown eyes this man has ever seen. He decided to invite her to have dinner on his helicopter while they watched the city lights, got bugs in their sandwiches, and connected as two long-lost twin souls. She wants a trophy husband who pays for himself. She needs to change something to meet these people. People who earn high salaries don't usually socialize in the same places as part-time retail employees. Athletic people tend to spend a lot of time doing athletic activities. Likewise, avid musicians. OP's friend is basically trying to meet a Wall Street banker in a sleepy Florida beach town or a skilled ocean fisherman in rural Montana.